Happy full moon greetings today. The moon continues in Cancer, and so we have a Cancer full moon following 2 weeks ago. We had the Capricorn new moon, and so we are reaching the culmination of this Capricorn moon cycle. And with the fullness of the full moon, we have something being illuminated, something being revealed. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Monday, January 13th. I gave a breakdown yesterday of what to expect with this full moon. It's joining or very close to the planet Mars. So we have this warrior energy activated. Cancer, of course, is about caring and self care and how we want to be a force for caring in the world. Mars is asking us, how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? How are you going to take action? And I had some suggestions in yesterday's video that may not be necessarily what you think of when you think of taking action, but sort of some ways to reframe our approaches and take care of ourselves at these deeper levels. Because what we're doing is we are laying the foundations, right? Capricorn foundations of being a more caring world. And we start that process by self-examination, right? Self-awareness, looking at how we are thinking about caring in our own lives, where perhaps we are not thinking about caring in some ways that we should. And so starting with caring for ourselves. Today, it's good to remember that the full moon is also bringing something into our awareness. And so often it has to do with what seeds you planted at the new moon, right? It's coming to fruition. It's evolved to a point where something is being reflected back to you with that reflected light of the moon, right? Reflecting the sun's light. And by the way, the sun and moon represent the mind and the heart. The sun being the mind, and the heart being, or the moon being the heart. So when we have a full moon, our mind and heart are at full objectivity. They are fully opposite. They are as far apart as they get. And that doesn't mean that they're abandoning one another. And really, what it means is that they can see each other more clearly. So your mind can see your heart more clearly, and your heart can understand your mind more clearly, right? And they can speak to each other. And, maybe there is something in there for you to pay attention to. So, we want to think about the energy of any full moon as being, this is a time when something is coming into our awareness, something is being reflected back to us. So when your heart, which is your feelings, your emotions, your energy, your internal energy and mood, and how you feel, um, is saying, here's something I want you to know, right? Back to your mind. I want you to know how things feel. And so your mind can go, oh, that I didn't think about it that way, right? So mentally, it's a good time for us to pay attention and notice what is being shown to us, to have an open mind and to be receptive to shifts that maybe only the heart can know, right? Maybe only the heart can know certain kinds of truths. And it's saying, hey, mind, get with the program here because there's something you're missing. So, kind of a deeper take here on how we think about the full moon. So, with today's full moon, we have the heart reflecting something back to the mind having to do with caring. What does caring feel like? What do we need to know or remember about caring and what caring looks like and how to show up to take action to create a more caring world, which was yesterday's theme. So in yesterday's video. So the Cancer energy is a feeling energy, right? And so it's revealing something to us about how we feel and what we really need that maybe we've been pushing aside or in denial of or resisting. It's like, no, no, you really need this. And this is really important. And you've got to take care of yourself. You have to think about things differently. So where is a shift needed for you? And when we have a full moon, that shift is being shown to you somehow. So it could be in the events and circumstances that are showing up in your life around that full moon. It could be something that you see that makes you think, right? For me, I know like sometimes it's reading a book or going to a movie or listening to a podcast or something that helps me think about things differently, and I'm like, "Oh, I that is really appropriate thing for me to have to notice right now," right? The like, the story or the energy or something I haven't thought about is showing up and pointing this out to me to say, "Yes, you should be thinking about this. This is important, and there's something here for you." So take that moment to pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking about? What is showing up in my life? What is showing up in my experience, in my day even, right? What are the themes and what is sort of emerging, could be in something that happens in your personal life or your work life, or it's just something that is there because it is the universe revealing back to you something you need to see, something you need to think about, something you need to maybe think about differently. So there's a shift here that is possible when we pay attention, when we notice what is emerging, what is being shown to us. So, that is how to think about this full moon. As I mentioned yesterday, in yesterday's video, we also have some planets out of bounds right now. So Mars is retrograde and out of bounds. It's doing some kind of crazy, wacky things, and this will be continuing until April. As Mars being at a higher declination, that's what out of bounds means. It just means it's kind of outside the norm. So we could have some experiences of things happening related to Mars energy, which is all kinds of things, right? It's the energy of the warrior and courage and action. It's also the energy of rashness, of boldness, of spontaneity, being direct, fire, right? And the fires that have been just catastrophic has that Mars quality to it, that out of bounds quality to it that feels like something that's really outside of the usual. And so we've got that going on around this full moon as well. The moon also is at its is out of bounds as well, and it's at one of the highest declinations it reaches. It's in a 18-19 year cycle in terms of how far out of bounds it can get. And so with this full moon, we have the moon out of bounds, Mars out of bounds, Mercury also is out of bounds. And so just some kind of wacky, uh, wacky energies showing up. And when that's happening, grounding practices are always really, really important, right? To take a deep breath, take care of yourself, focus on the here and now, what you can perceive with your senses, focus on your food and your breath and your routines, maybe take a little walk, like just something that is normal, right? connect yourself with what is normal, because the energies can feel a little what's the word? Discombobulating is what's coming to mind. All right. So take care of yourself. This too shall pass. Not everything lasts forever. It is also introducing new possibilities, new ideas, right? As it goes outside of the norm, it gives us this connection with something, some creative energy, some new ways of thinking, some shifts in consciousness. So remember that that's happening, and the forces of creativity are just as strong as the forces that may feel destructive. So deep breaths. You've got this. Hang on. It's going to be crazy and bumpy, and focus on um, what is stabilizing for you. So grounding, simplicity, right? Coming back to routines, what's real, what you can connect with, cultivating, as I've been saying, cultivating your relationships and remembering you have support, and just basic daily connections with other people, maybe getting together for tea or coffee with a friend, or chatting on the phone, or just some of these ordinary things that can just say, hey, we're still human here, life still continues. We can get through this. And also, that might be a place where some spontaneous new thinking might show up, right, in the course of a lovely conversation. So don't discount those possibilities. Keep carrying on. Thanks for being here. Yesterday's video has more information about today's full moon, and check out my guided meditation that can also support you in working with these energies. Really powerful. I've been doing guided meditations since 2012. And folks just love them. They're just very, very supportive. You can kind of absorb at deeper levels some of the things I'm talking about here, as we work with the energy, and you can take it in through hearing my voice on the guided meditation, and some of the concepts that I introduce in very caring and gentle ways that help you access your own wisdom. So I really encourage you to check out my guided meditations, astrologyheals.com. Go to products, guided meditations, and they're all there. There's one for the January 13th Cancer full moon. And it is called Choosing to Care, and it will help you work through your own process of connecting with being a force for caring in the world. I think you'll love it. It's only $15. I really encourage you to check that out and give it a try. All right, and that's a great way to support my work. So if you appreciate it, I thank you. And thanks for being a subscriber and being here with me. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self care. And I will see you next time. Happy full moon. Bye for now.